Alright guys, welcome to the Ivy League live stream. We're going to go over my watch list.
Alright guys, welcome to the
Ivy League live stream.
We're going to go over my watch list.
Alright guys, welcome to the Ivy League live stream. We're going to go over my watch list. Alright guys, welcome this up. Alright, so we are good. We have sound. So again, I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Obviously, the elephant in the room, you know, what happened with our presidential candidate. It's very upsetting and it's very sad. You know, anytime that somebody just takes their personal, emotional belief, ideology, whatever, and thinks that it's okay to fire rounds into an open crowd for no reason, okay, is unacceptable. I mean, just call it for what it is. I don't care what side you're on. It's unacceptable. Father is not making it home to his kids, his wife, his family, his mom. You know, there's two other innocent people that lost their lives. You put not only the lives of the president, other people, other police officers who work in that line of duty, who are out there to protect other people. I mean, it's really sad. So we're going to get into not necessarily that, but what does that mean for DJT? All right, now I have a wonderful watch list for you. There is a lot you guys are going to learn here today. All right, and I want you guys to pay attention to this. All right, my ideas are really broad based. I have different type of trades, which could allow for some hedging. We have so an area that necessarily doesn't have earnings, so there could be a swing trade there. You have to watch if you are a swing trader, understanding that we have news, we also have earnings, and being careful, understanding, you know, if you're trading Disney and Netflix has earnings Wednesday and you are not aware, okay, or just not even thinking about, oh, Netflix has earnings and I'm long this name, and all right, so tighten it up. All right, understand if you have way too many options ending at one period of time out of the money, you could be in for some drawdown. So let's get into the watch list. Thank you guys for joining. Hit the like button, subscribe, share this with a friend, help get this out to some other folks that are in need of some help. You know, you're here to better yourself. And we would appreciate it if you could pass us along. With your help, we'd be able to help retail traders and actually start getting on the right side of these trades and actually start doing good for themselves and everyone else around them. Okay, we all trade for a reason. All right, we all have, you know, my reason may be different than yours, right? Whether, you know, we all have a common interest in the markets, but at the end of the day, we're here to make money. So thank you guys. If you guys could give back, if you guys want to donate and any contributions, that link is in the description as well. We trade live here. I'm in the mix now. Do I start a Discord or do we try to keep this free for everyone? Last week, I had a phenomenal week. No trouble at all. Did not rush in, did not rush out of trades, and it really opened my eyes up to how much time I spend on the stream just putting it together, let alone it taking away the time for ideas. I was long regionals, KRE. I posted it on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, at Ivy League Trades on Twitter. Okay, KRE. This is a beautiful daily setup. I gave you guys this Monday or Tuesday before people were talking about it here. I gave you the breakout point here. Beautiful. This is a beautiful setup. The risk to reward on this, it does not get any better. All right, so I was on that. I traded GameStop Tesla, which Friday morning I did trade here live on YouTube. This was one of the call outs. Now, here's what I'm getting at, what I was just talking about, is understanding the type of trade that you're in or going to take. What is it? All right, is it this trade here Friday was a pain trade, a low risk, okay, low position size, high reward. These contracts went from $1.40 to $8-9. If you have $1,000 account, a $10,000 account, $1,000,000 account, $100,000 account. I'm going to use 1,000 just to give you an example. If you had $1,000 and you bought even just one contract, 10% of your portfolio, and you would have risked 1 delta from our entry point. This is what I gave you Friday morning. All right, I had a great week and I did not take this. Now, I got mixed up with the contracts because I was used to Tesla moving from $6 to $9 and not 15 to 20. Okay, I thought that these contracts were a bit expensive, and we fully gave this trade out here. And if you want to go back and watch it from Friday, go ahead. When we first pulled back off the bell, I said, let's look for a double bottom and take the long at $1.40. They went to $8-9 a contract. This is what I get. This is what I do for you guys. All right, I'm not always going to be right, but here it is. This is just an example. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, if we get above 240 and we can hold it, I'm going to look for a move back up into 248. All right, 248 to 245. Obviously taking profits in front of 244, 245, this area here. If we stick 240, if we can break above 240. All right, I'm going to be taking profits like right there. All right, and then so
we'll talk more about.
So more so with that, you can go back. Just an example, okay? I drew it out for you. That I said, let's see if we pull back off the bell, if we can break through pre-market highs, and then we're going to look to extend and hold pre-market highs on Tesla and extend further. Again, that is a high risk, high reward. Risking on $1,000 account, 30-40 bucks, which is what, 0.3-0.4% of your account, to get that pain trade, which would be that mean reversal on Tesla. Not fighting the trend, not being scared of a one-day pullback, understanding what is at hand here. All right, nice support level here. Also the 38.2 Fibonacci. All right. There was a little bit more to this outside of the trend. This really nice tight price action here with the breakout. So it was just a really nice reversal pain trade. Anybody that was short yesterday came in with a gap down. So you're also getting the gap down take profit on the shorts. So beautiful job Friday morning. You know, this is what I want to help you guys identify. All right, I want you guys to be able to identify these and understand what's going on, because there's the multiple things here that was going on with Tesla Friday. The overall markets had a nice bounce back. So let's get into the watch list. But again, I want to reiterate the massive volume to the downside from Thursday coming in with a gap down. There's going to be a lot of profit taking. Okay, and like we said, look for the double bottom. And I mentioned that right there. And I was on the 1 minute at the time when we came in, top left of your screen. And when we pulled in, I said, when we pulled in and bounced here, I said, let's look for a bit of a double bottom and look for that entry again. $1.40 on those contracts. They went from $1.40 all the way up to $9. You had solid volume, no reason to get out. So you should have at least gotten 300 to 400%, at least. Okay, which would, again, going back to what I'm trying to portray to you, is that risking $30-40 a contract, $30-40 on $1,000 account, okay, and making 50% of your account, if not, you would, that was a 10-bagger there, just shy of a 10-bagger. That was shy of 1,000%. So that's what I want to get. I'm trying to portray to you guys and get you guys to understand is the risk to reward and the size in which you're trading in your account. Okay. So let's go into the watch list. I want to get right into it. Again, if you guys have questions, post them in the chat. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Again, we do appreciate you guys being here. I always say we, but it's just me. So first things first. Let's just go right into DJT. All right. Let me actually bring up Microsoft Word here. So trade ideas and thoughts. You guys know every week I like to start with a goal. Okay. My goal will be patients. The patients at the hospital that I work at. I'm just kidding. I do not work at a hospital, but patients, not T, but patients. I was just trying to come up with something. So this week I'm going to be patient, getting in and out. I would like to try and find a swing trade, but again, I'm realizing that earnings are here, economic data. We also have increased volatility. If you notice, Thursday and Friday, really big swings in the overall S&Ps and Qs in the overall markets, right? The IWM, small caps, the Dow just ripping. The Qs, it rips, it dumps, it's ripping again. So understanding that, we can also use that for a trade for the VIX. Maybe we go out. The VIX has not really priced in from the last time I looked. I think I looked Wednesday or Thursday at the VIX. So maybe we want to start thinking about the fact that earnings are here and we're seeing this pre-earnings move out of technology and the overall markets. Again, we just had this incident over the weekend with the president or the presidential nominee. So how does that affect the markets? Okay. But patience is going to be my weekly goal here. Again, I would like to try and find a swing trade. But earnings and economic data have increased volatility. So sticking with intraday targets is a feasible goal here with being patient. Really taking that last profit in front of that area we're looking to get to. This week's trade ideas, they cover a variety of trade types. Again, swing trades, which you're going to notice these trades. There's momentum trades, small caps, mid caps, large caps in this watch list. Impossible hedges. All right. Data this week, retail sales. We have Powell tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow and not Tuesday. Let me make sure so I don't give you the wrong information here. All right. Powell. Is Powell, Fed Chair Powell's speech, 12:30, July 15th. All right, so we are going to have Powell at lunch. All right, if you want to join us, I'll go live tomorrow for that as well. BA, bingo, good to see you. And we will tune in to Powell Live if I can get it. Sometimes you have to have a Bloomberg terminal to listen to some of those things, or you have to subscribe to wherever it is that whoever's hosting it. Maybe it's Barron's. Again, I'll get to looking at that, and we'll watch that tomorrow on the live stream. So retail sales, Powell. We also have inflation data, guys, from Europe. Other countries around the world are having their inflation data, and I really would want you guys to watch it. I'm going to be watching it. India's inflation data already came in high. So take notice, does that inflation data work its way to us if we start seeing higher numbers abroad? Does that hit us next month? Are we in the coattail? Do we ride coattails off of them? It's very possible. Again, I'm not saying that they're going to be high. I'm not saying they're going to be low. I'm just saying India, there's rows. So we need to keep an eye out for that. All right, shipping rates again have still been climbing. In case you guys haven't heard or seen or know of. So India is already seeing it. ECB interest rate decision, building permits, and an obvious initial jobless claims and retail sales. Okay, so weekly stock roundup. Okay, last week, Starbucks. All right, trade ideas, guys. All right, Starbucks, activist news. So if you want to keep Starbucks on your watch list, this has news for an activist. If we go back, if you look at Disney, when Disney had its activist news, look what Disney did. Okay, with all of this. All right, with the activist news. So let's keep an eye out for Starbucks. We ended up buying Starbucks down here on the pullback again. I get it. It just hits a nerve when people bring up Nancy Pelosi, insider trades and trading this, that, and the third, and state officials and federal officials can't be trading. Like, guys, buy good companies at discounted prices and go long and or buy them. I'm not telling you to, but if you do that, you're going to see success more times than not. All right. We traded this 3 to 4 times on that up move, and we bought it. Buy good companies at discounted prices, and you should do okay. Buying Nvidia and buying leaps on Nvidia when they are down, and buying leaps on Apple when it is down at a discounted price is how you market. That is how you make money in the markets, guys and girls. All right, it's not hard, and it's not inside information. You got a good company there. It's at a discounted price. You know, again, that's your opinion and what you think about the company. But you know, don't make things too complicated. If there's a balance sheet there and there's some growth quarter over quarter for an extended period of time, chances are it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, so Starbucks had some activist news, so we'll keep an eye out here on Starbucks. You do have somewhat of a double bottom. This area here at $70, all right, is I'm not going to say a major support level, but it is. All right, this looks like a nice level here. You guys will see at $70. All right, $70, nice support level, and we'll see if we can't take Starbucks and get Starbucks back up into its 50-day and 20-day moving average up here at like 77.50, 76, 77.50. All right, yeah, give me 76. We're gonna call it 76 because if we gap up or if we pull back and bounce, that should bring our moving averages. Just start to pull the moving averages down, and we would look for that. We would look for them to both meet right around this area. Okay, so that's Starbucks. You could look for a dip buy. Keep it on watch. Again, activist news. Okay, IGV. Okay, if you guys don't know, this one actually. This is actually an ETF here, and if you guys take notice to software infrastructure and look at the names that are in it: Oracle, Adobe, CrowdStrike, all right, Intuit, all right. So they CRM, they all have had news. Intuit laying off, Oracle and the Tesla deal going down, Adobe. There is news with Adobe that the what was it? They are getting a fine or something. All right, so you're just getting in CrowdStrike into the S&P. So there's been a lot of action in these names: CRM, Adobe, Intuit, CRM, Adobe, Oracle, and that is this ETF. So I'm going to keep this ETF here on watch. It had some nice volume here, but I want to see if there's any more bad news or if earnings starts to play a hand in this, and see if there's a pullback here. All right, I want to see if there is a pullback here. It doesn't seem like there's going to be, but if we start bringing up the news with Adobe, if they end up doing the, if the state or the feds come out and start to go with giving them the fine that the commissioner's fine. So what it is, I guess it's a fine for consumers. All right, I don't know exactly what the Adobe, like what it is exactly for. But this whole sector's having news. Keep your eyes on that. You have a nice support level here, flat top resistance. So if you break the 20-day, you have a nice move back down to $84. All right, and again, Oracle lost that Tesla deal. You've seen. So if I show you guys, all right, ORCL, Oracle down move. It has recovered though. They have recovered. All right. So if we continue to see Oracle break out, and CRM as well, you can see here Adobe actually gapped up on earnings, but CRM had bad earnings. Okay, so again, this all fits in the IGV, and honestly, the news hasn't been great. So, but it has recovered. So CRM gapped down on earnings. All right, they are all in this. The only good news would be CrowdStrike. Their earnings and the induction into the Hall of Fame, that is the S&P 500. So again, that ticker is IGV. We'll talk about this later on, and we'll see if there's a trade there. There might be a trade there. We'll see if this, see if this continues to make new highs. If it does, we won't fight the trend. Looks like the 20 days a nice entry point there. You had some really nice volume with that, but this area up here seems to be, if we test this again, you can't get through 88. 88 might be the short. Okay, 88 might be a good place to take a short, or, You take the long and see if you can't break through 88, which I think you could. I think you could. You just have to watch for earnings and all that stuff. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on it, but I wanted to bring that up for you guys. The VIX. Okay, I didn't really look at the VIX Friday. Again, these are just some names. But you can start to see here that the S&Ps. You guys seen it for yourself. Huge, what I would call, you know, pretty decent moves the past few days last week. Just big up moves, taking it back, you know, selling off, rallying, selling off. I think this was a last ditch effort up here. For anybody that didn't sell, they got a second chance, guys. And I said Wednesday that, again, I was not live because I'm figuring out what I'm doing, that this setup here, Wednesday and Thursday, you should have had the inclination for, if you're a seasonal trader, that this was an exhaustion, just an exhaustion gap up. Just an explosion to the upside. You come in with that small gap up off the news, flush. Okay, that is just a perfect top in a bull market. Does that continue? All right, does it continue? I think this rally, to be honest with you, if you guys took a look at the volume wasn't bad. It was pretty consistent, but it also wasn't that great either. I think you had sellers just step away to the side. You had that reversal, and then what did they do? They just stepped right back in at the PPI, CPI data, and sold it off. They got their second chance. And look at these wicks here too, though. You have some nice wicks at 560. So let's see if the volatility, and the Qs also did not really recover. So what's that going to mean for the SPY? Okay, so you can see already that the Qs are pretty weak. Futures should be opening up here soon. If not already opened. Yeah, 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Right now, futures are pulling back just a little bit. Pretty much flat right now. So we are down. Yeah, we're pretty much flat, guys. We are pretty much flat. 0.2% right now. All right. I would look for a further pullback, and it's what it's doing now. So let's keep it moving, though. But the VIX. So let's keep an eye out for the VIX. If we continue to see these swings, again, the VIX can climb as the market climbs. All right. And if you see that, VIX, come on. All right. So I want to see if the market keeps putting in, you know, 5, 6, you know, 4 to, depending on where we open, but 6 to, you know, 3. Let me just say this: $2.50 to $4.5, $5 moves on the SPY and Qs, or I should say the SPY. You continue to see, you know, 0.8 to 1.5%, 1.2%. Let's see if the VIX does start to climb, because that means the SPY and the overall markets are moving, and that could create some type of uncertainty. We have data, we have Powell, we have earnings season here. I'm just saying, keep an eye out for it. I will be, at least. So let's keep it going. Sorry that I hung on that for too long. All right. Google news. So Google has some big news here. All right. Google has big news. All right. So Wall Street Journal reporting that Google is near a deal to acquire the cybersecurity startup Wiz for $23 billion. Okay. Alphabet, Class A, GOOGL ticker symbol. The parent company of Google is in advanced talks to acquire cybersecurity startup Wiz for about $23 billion per Wall Street Journal, reported Sunday, citing people familiar with the matter. If the deal is finalized, it will be the company's largest ever acquisition. How does this administration take this possible buyout? It's hard to say. They may try to block it. I'm just going to tell you that right now. And if they do block it, they're probably going to hope that another person comes in. The news comes days after the report surfaced that Alphabet has decided not to pursue an acquisition of HubSpot, which we also got that. We did get that news. I forgot to mention that. That was big news of last week. A company with a market cap of over 24 billion. Antitrust scrutiny was said to have played a part in the company's decision not to acquire HubSpot. Wiz posted an annual recurring revenue of 350 million in 2023. That's up 100 million in its first 18 months after its founding. That's huge, y'all. Guys, that's huge. An annual recurring revenue of 350 million in 2023, up 100 million in its first 18 months after its founding in 2020 by CEO Asaf Rappaport. The company raised $1 billion earlier this year at a valuation of $12 billion, suggesting takeover is nearly double of those levels, and which is correct. So, Wiz is backed by venture capitalists including Sequoia Capital, Andreessen Horowitz, Index Ventures, and Lightspeed Venture Partners. Wiz was one of the rare startups outside of AI to raise capital at a higher valuation in 2024. Many startups are suffering from tech boom hangover fueled by the low interest rate environment. If a deal is completed, it would be nearly double the value of Google's largest deal to date at $12.5 billion. Takeover of Motorola Mobility in 2012. Meanwhile, the second largest acquisition to date was $5.4 billion. So that puts into perspective that this deal is double Motorola. Quadruple, 4 times as much as the security company Mandiant or whatever. So we'll see where Google opens up tomorrow. Let's go over, and now we're going to get into the watch list. I'm sorry it took so long. I just wanted to cover some of the news and all that stuff first. I think it's kind of important to check in to see where we're at, what's going on, all that fun stuff. So here we go. All right. Okay, that's why. 1 minute chart. Okay. So, let's go into the watch list. Again, guys, hit that like button, subscribe. Appreciate you guys. If you want to give back to the stream, contributions or donation, that link is in the description. It helps and goes directly to the stream. It is to help keep this free, so we can trade live on right here Monday through Friday and help others be able to make some money. All right, and that's our goal here. So if you found some valuable information, seriously think about that, and we thank you. DJT, let's get into it. So DJT, all right, I'm going to go back to Google. We'll go back to Google's levels, but DJT, I was watching this last week. All right, this was actually, these options were giving you a nice 20% move to the downside. The calls weren't really paying. You weren't getting much. You were actually losing money, but the puts were paying on up and down days here. So the put side of this was paying. Just catching $1.50 out of this thing was giving you 20 to 40 to 35%. All right, it was actually a nice trading vehicle this week. Not saying that I did trade it because I don't think I did, but I was watching it. All right, so 15-minute chart. This teal box is the 200-day moving average. The green one's the 20-day moving average. The red is the 50-day. Okay, so first thing I want to get into is obviously what happened this weekend. What does it mean for DJT? Well, I don't know how the market's going to take it. I don't know where we're going to open up tomorrow. I will say this. He owns 57. This is as of January, February, March. So this is as of April 2024. And if this is correct, okay, from this is April 9th, 2024. Donald Trump is the largest shareholder with ownership of 57.3% of the shares outstanding. Okay, if they are trying and there's news that they're going after the owner, okay, I don't know how the market's going to take this, okay, because you're going to have two sides to this where the market and institutions are going to feel like if he goes, I don't know what legal implications that has, Okay, obviously it would go possibly to his kids and his family and other stuff. I don't know. Okay, maybe I'm sure there's a deal, or I'm sorry, I'm sure there's a contract. But I want to know, how does this stock trade? So what am I going to look for? Do we look for the gap up? Do we look for a gap down? Well, I'm going to give you both sides of this trade. All right, because I feel like you're going to have some people here that have made money to the short side. They also may want to de-risk just in case of a squeeze, because you got to think we also have GameStop. GameStop is popping. At least, which we're going to cover. It's holding a level. I'm going to wait and see where DJT opens up. So I'm going to be a buyer. Okay, if we pull back into this $30 level, let's just say this. If we don't gap up, 30, 50, and $30 is what I'm going to be watching for. Really $30. A pullback into $30 is what I'm going to be watching for. If we come in with a gap up, or let's just say we open up, see, you'll have, Powell's live tomorrow. I'll come on live tomorrow. We have not sold off from this level. We have actually, you're just seeing us sit here and just bump into $30. What is that? 31 and 31.50. So I'm going to be watching 31.50. I'm going to be watching that 200-day and that 20-day moving average right here on the daily chart. All right. If we come in with a gap up, then I'm going to look for a pullback into it. Sorry, I got to get this. There we go. If we come in with a gap up tomorrow, let's say it opens up like, above. Let's say we are above 31.50. We gap up. Maybe we open up at 32.50, 32. I'm going to look for a pullback into 31.50. Again, if we open up above 31.50, I'm going to look for the pullback into 31.50. Okay, really that 200-day, the 20-day moving average. And I'm going to see if we can break through that and break through 33. All right, I'm going to be patient because I don't know what's going to happen with this. I got to be honest. I'm not surprised for the downside, and I'm not surprised for the upside. So if we're above $31.50, I'm looking for a pullback into 31.50. Again, gap up above 31.50, pull it back into 31.50, even $30. Friday's close. Okay, Friday's close. I'm going to be long. I'm going to give it some time. The target, I'm telling you guys right now, my target for this is going to be $40. I'm going to look to see if we can take this back into the 50-day. All right. You have to understand, though, that 32, I'm sorry, what is this? Yeah, 33 to 34 is a minor zone of resistance. Okay, so I'm just giving you guys my trade ideas for the upside and downside, so please remember that. All right. If you want my personal trades and all that stuff, guys, again, last week I think I was outside of the only trade that I got out of was BABA, and it was actually consolidating while the overall markets were green, and it ended up coming in with a gap up, and that was 200%. It was up double from the calls that I got into it, but I was sitting in it all day and it wasn't moving. And I had already had KRE. I had a bunch of other trades that were green, so I just took it off. So I don't think I had any losing trades last week. I think I was like 6-0, 7-0 last week. Really nice, really nice week. A couple of swing trades, some momentum trades, small cap trades. If you want some mentorship, please reach out. Okay, message me, hit me up on Twitter at Ivy League Trades. The link is in the description. Also, if you want to email me or get a hold of me, reach out. If we gap up above 31.50. I'm going to look for the pullback into 20-day, the 200-day, and I'm going to look for a move higher, guys. And I am going to look for and target $38 to $40 on DJT. Now, if we come in and fail, or if we come in with a gap down, then I'm going to look for the bounce back into $30, and I'll just look for some more downside, because again, I'm looking at this from two different ways. Do people start to buy it to stick up for him, and or the risk factor? What does this mean if he isn't here anymore? Like, because he's being attacked. What are the implications of that? Okay, does he have to raise more money for, I don't know. So this could be a little funky of a trade. We'll keep our eyes on it. And I think there's going to be a trade there, though. Upside, I'm going to target 40, and the downside, we'll see if we can't finally get this gap filled. But I got to be honest with you guys, it's holding up really nicely. It was holding up really nicely, and it never gave it up. All right, 1, 2, 3. You know what we say, 4 up and out. Okay, you already hit it 3 times, 31.50 3 times. So that is DJT. Okay, we'll pull up a 15-minute chart here. Okay, so you guys can see here, this is really this level here you guys want to watch for. All right, this level right here. Okay, this support and resistance zone right there. Right there, guys. That's I'm gonna have to download, and I meant to do it yesterday. I started to do it, then I had some stuff that I ended up not finishing it. Actually, I still have it up, but I'm gonna have to get something to draw so I can show you guys what I mean. I don't like what this has here. So this area here is what we're gonna target. This is a trade in and of itself to $33, $34. Okay, like if we pull back into, if we come in with a gap up, we pull back into 31.50, and you could look for the trade and take profits in front of the 20-day, $33 and $34. Okay, that's DJT. I'm looking at both sides of this trade. The downside targets will be 28 or 29, 28.50. All right, 29 and 28.50 area. Okay, to test these previous lows down here at $29. All right, so that's that. Let's go to the next one. There's a lot of good ideas on here, guys. Again, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm doing a giveaway. I'm going to be giving back to you guys Tesla. TSLA. All right, Tesla. So I showed you guys pre-market, the video that, again, it's still up there. I mean, verbatim, I told you guys that I was looking for a long right off the bell. I said, let's see if we can break through pre-market highs, turn pre-market highs into support, and I want to look to break 240 and look to target 245 to 250. That's exactly what we did. And I said, take profits in front of, take some profits in front of 245. Okay, you want to lock that in because anything can happen, right? Anything can happen, as we've learned this weekend. All right. You have a really nice trade here, right? Still remaining in an uptrend. Pull back to the 38.2 Fibonacci. 230, that 230, 240 level pretty held really nicely. So what I'm going to look for out of Tesla, guys, is I'm going to watch this Friday's high. I'm watching Friday's high. I'm going to watch Friday's high. So pullbacks, let me just bring this up for you so you guys can see it. But so I want to be long for a 252 break, and we're going to I'm targeting 260 and 270. 260, 270. Obviously, we're going to worry about 260 before we worry about 270. Let's look to see if we can catch a pullback. Get long at 245. Depending, see again, I don't know where we're open, so it's a little tough. If you come in with the gap up, then you want to look for the pullback into Friday's high, this 252 to 248 area. It's an area, okay? Look for that to become support. This this orange line, really, you can see how we just sat right on it, and that is 248. But Friday's close, Friday's high. If we come in with the gap up, I want to look for a pullback into it and then I want to look for a bounce and take profits in like 258, 259, and going to see it and see if we can get through 260. Then if we get through 260, then hello 265, 270. Well, I should say 265, 280. Okay, I'm going to target this area. Not so much 270, but 265 to 268. Okay. So that's Tesla. I'm also not prone to the downside. I just think that the bigger move is to the upside. All right. All right, that's Tesla. I'm going to look for another long on Tesla. So pullback longs, and I'm going to target the top end of the range from the beginning of last week. Okay, Wednesday's high, Thursday's high, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no, Friday, Thursday. We didn't have any holidays, so yeah, I'm going to target 260 to 270. All right, on the long. That's Tesla. All right, let's keep it going. All right, so let me just keep it moving. Okay, another one, GME. GME, I want you guys to look at this daily chart. This daily chart here is actually really nice. So, I want you guys to pay attention to this level right here. I want you guys to see this, okay? You guys see these tails here? All right there. You see those tails and that 20-day moving average? You guys can see once we broke below it, you guys could see it was just like resistance up there at 25. We come in with the gap down. And what did it do? It went right back to 25, 25, 25 tails. Okay, we gap up around. Look at that long tail up there. Okay, what are we seeing here? Tails, 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 tails. All right, they're selling the top end of these moves. All right, they're selling into the pops. But we are above 25. So I got long off of 25. Once we came in with that gap up, I traded this last week. I traded it to the upside and downside. There's money to be made, guys. I'm telling you. I had the best week that I have had since I have streaming, because I've had time to do the work and I didn't have to get stressed with the stream. So this is why, I ask you guys if you guys want to give back and help with the stream here, so we can help other people. And if we can raise enough money, we can give out alerts, right? That stuff costs money to be able to give out alerts and store a bunch of numbers and do stuff with the streams, to make it easier, just to be able to help others. All right. I've been doing this for a long time, and I want other people to be able to, just to have that feeling of just the success that can come with this if you learn how to do it correctly. It's just a really good feeling. All right. And I think there's a lot of people out here. If people want to gamble their money away, okay, I can't help you with that. All right. But if you want to make money and get serious about it, hit me up on Twitter. I mean, we can even do a half-hour to an hour consultation, guys. There's a lot of information that I know for a fact that I could help you just even reading the charts in the markets, and it would blow your mind. You'd be like, holy shit, how did I not see that before? So again, hit me up on Twitter, link in the description. Even comment down below if you'd like to have a 15-20 minute, half-hour, hour-long consultation. So GameStop, we're finally above, like, and learning how to analyze these markets like this, right? We couldn't, not one time really, except for this candle here, did we close above 25. Could not close and hold 25. But we're staying up there. We're staying up there. We're staying up there, right? It's not moving away from it. So as time goes on, and this 50 days curling up, there you go. Bang, 50-day comes in, 20-day, and you're having this this wedge here between the 20-day moving average and that 50-day. Let's look for, which, again, I've already traded the long and the short on GameStop, but I'm going to look for 26. I think, again, this is why I wrote this. I actually think you should be worried here. I think you got to be careful. GME, be careful. 26 holds. Okay, I'm looking for $28 to $30. This is the target and area that I'm looking for GME if it can get going. It may need a little more time. But if DJT gets going and other small cap names that are heavily shorted get squeezing, that could be a catalyst to help GameStop, because you're going to see risk start to be managed, and you're going to start seeing pops all over the market. Okay, that's what you have to understand with these type of names. Okay, so if DJT comes in with the gap up and it pulls back, and then there's just a massive amounts of volume, and that thing starts going, I guarantee you, you're more than likely, you're more than likely going to see it in GME, AMC, and random small cap names. You're going to see it across the board. Okay, so that's why I'm keeping my eye out for GME, but I'm also noticing all these tails up here that they're selling into it. Okay, so pullbacks into the 20-day and or 26. We finally also got above 26, just barely. This line right there, 26. We'll go to a 15-minute chart. So I would not want to see, honestly, I do not want to see GameStop break 26. I don't want to see that. All right. Yes, if it goes back down to 25.50, does that mean the trade's over if we retest Friday's low? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily, but I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. I want us to stay above 26, and I want to see buyers coming in at 26. I will stream live tomorrow. So if you want to join us, I'll be on probably early to see. We had a lot of small caps last week pre-market. That offered some nice trades. So we'll come on about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and we'll stream throughout the morning session and up until lunch, if not the end of the day, depending on the people that are here. So GameStop watch 26. If we continue to hold 26 and have what we need to get a breakout volume type of day, I'm targeting $28 to $30. 28, 29, $30. Okay, that's GameStop. All right, that's GameStop. All right, GameStop, yes. 29. So you know what? I'm going to just tell you guys right now, call it 28 to 28.50. 30, let's worry about 28, 28.50. If they can, here's the thing too, remember, they can do an offering at any time. So don't get caught off sides. We could start ripping, and then all of a sudden, you just get a limit down candle, and you're like, oh, damn it, they did it again. Or if you don't know, you're like, oh, what happened? Well, they did an offering. All right, that's their job. Their job is to raise money, to pay down debt, and to, have a stable business. So I also wouldn't be shocked, and I actually wrote that here, so we'll see if that happens. All right, $28 to $30 to the upside is the target, but completely fails and sells off on an offering or news, okay, on offering news, etc., something that brings it down. I will look to get back down to $24. That would be a sick trade, guys. That could be a huge trade. If GME pops, they do another offering, which I don't think they will, but they could, and we get that back down to this $24. So upside is 28, 28.50. The downside is $24. All right, $24. 26 is the level, though, guys. I can't tell you how much of a brick wall that was. I got long here. This was the day I got long right there. I got long into and the break of 26, and I took that short on the bounce back to 26. I got in a little early here on this bounce back. All right, on this bounce back right there. I think I got in like right there. It's right around where I got in. And I, just gave it the time that it needed, and it turned out to be a really nice trade. And I took that and rode that all the way down. I exited it right there. All right. Again, it's all that was fully live streamed. So that's GameStop. We talked about it. So we have Tesla, DJT. We have semiconductors, AMD, which I think is the next one. And I talked about Tesla, GME. Be careful. Oh, Bitcoin and Coinbase. So if you guys didn't notice this weekend, check out, if you guys haven't seen it. And I said, Thursday and Friday. Oh, look at that. Wouldn't you know it? Wow, this thing's going, guys. So they're going to take that trade. This trade for Coinbase is probably gone. Maybe. You got the move back to 60,000. Okay, I mentioned this Thursday and Friday. And even last week, I was like, guys, let's see if we can get back up to this level here at 60,000, and see if it either rejects it and or this is the low. Because I've told you guys, when you see on a daily chart, you see a rally, consolidate, pullback. This is your shake and bake, or could be. I'm not going to say it is, but I think this is your shake and bake. Shake out weak hands, extend, rally higher. It's a possibility. We do have August, September, October coming up with the election, so that's going to create some volatility. Could create volatility. So I'm also thinking, okay, if this thing's going to run, why would it choose to run right now when we're getting ready to have the debate and coming into a week's, the months where seasonality is weak, all right? Coinbase. So Bitcoin, watching Bitcoin. Obviously, we broke through 60,000. Pullbacks into 60,000. Look for 63, 6250 on Bitcoin. Coinbase, okay? Coinbase. Depending on where we open up, we should open up with a gap up tomorrow. But Coinbase is going to be one of the trade ideas that I'm looking for. We actually have the 50-day, 100-day, 20-day all lining up right here. So what we're going to look for is 220, okay? 220 longs to 230, 240. All right? Let me go up here. So 220. The downside is 210, 200 is the target. So short 220. Let me actually pull up a 30-minute chart or a half-hour chart here. All right. We did not hold. You guys can see this. Friday, we did not hold. All right, we did not hold here. But here's the thing. Bitcoin's breaking out right now, or at least trying to. So, and the volume wasn't all that serious Thursday and Friday. The overall markets were green. Coinbase was green. I'm watching 220 for the long and the short. I'm going to target that 50-day moving average and really 226 on Coinbase. All right, in that 50-day. So let's see if we can regain 220. Let me actually make this. There you go. I'll put it there. All right, so you can see this major level of support right here for Coinbase. All right in there is support. 220 longs, look for that 50-day, the top end of the range, 226 to 230. All right, 226 to 230. And if there's a continuation trade there, look for 235. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's look for a run back up into the 50-day moving average, that red box there, at 226. The downside, 210. If something happens, God forbid, I'm looking for 210 and 200. I'm going to be looking for right here. It was like 2 weeks ago. I actually gave you guys as well, and I think bingo, you were there, this long. I gave you guys this long. We came in with a huge gap down, and I said, guys, look for the pullback. I think I gave you guys the long. The entry price was like 211, and I said 211, 210. We pull into 210 to look for that long, and this was a huge trade, and I think bingo took it. All right, I'm pretty sure bingo took that, or at least he was there and was like, hey, that was a beautiful call out. So Coinbase, just keep an eye on Bitcoin there with that. So that's that. And then we have the Google news. This is big money for a big acquisition. Here's what I will tell you guys. All right, understanding to read the markets. Google was red while the markets were green. So we have this news. Let's regain Friday's low and Thursday's low, and let's look for a pushback in the 190 on Google. I want to try to be long Google and try to target. Maybe we stay in this trade for 2 days, 3 days. Look for 192. All right, I want to try to get back up there to like Thursday's highs, Tuesday, Wednesday's lows. All right, take profits as you get them. Okay, I don't know where we're going to open up tomorrow. All right, we could still pull back to the 20-day. All right, we could also still continue to pull back to the 20-day. And if you do get that little extra further push down, we want to look to. I'm going to look to be a buyer. Look at the sell volume that's coming in here. So I may actually stay neutral on Google, because if something, I don't know. This is just really weird, but I feel like Google wants to do something like this, guys, and get to this 50-day. I'm not saying one shot, but I am kind of curious if Google is trying to work its way back to 180. It may not. Maybe, you know, you get something like this on the daily chart, Monday into Tuesday, you get a pop in the 190, and then like a mild day Tuesday, and then, you know, I don't know what would happen Wednesday to set it off, but maybe you get a pop back, reject 190, and look for a consolidation up here. All right, so, you know, 20-day is at 184.50. All right, so 20-day 184.50 and 185 longs. Okay, because it's still holding up. And we look to take profits in the 190. Okay, it's a $5 move. And yes, I'll cover Boeing. And airlines. Again, we have more airlines. Obviously, we do have earnings, guys. So we do have ASML. We're going to get ASML and TSM earnings, which I'm going to cover. So play the range here. Okay, play the range here. Just be careful. Understand the volume and what's going on here. Sellers seem to be stepping up in a pretty big way, and the fact that Google was red twice, red, and the markets were green, it kind of shows you the underlying sentiment there. All right, that's Google. One more time, 187. The 20-day moving average. What did I say? 186.50, 187? No, 187. So yeah, because the 20-day should gap up into 185. So it's a $2 range, 185 to 187. Look for longs if it can hold. And if you come in with the gap up, let it pull back for you. Make sure you can get that pullback. If it doesn't pull back, let it go. Unless you just see that it's got a tremendous amount of volume and you're just going to hop on the train. So let's look for a move back to 190, okay? 186, 187, and that 20-day daily SMA. And we're going to look for that to be our entry points. All right, so that's Google. Profits into 190. Again, I'm just going to draw it for you guys. I'm going to look to take profits, okay, if we can get there. I'm going to be looking to take profits there in front of 190. And I'll hold that position to see if we can break it, hold it, and then look for that run up and take profits in front of 192. Okay? That's my game plan for that. Let's keep it moving. So, AMD. And I did not look at ARM, but I can look at ARM. We'll go into Boeing. I didn't want to make this video this long. I am doing having it a little longer than I wanted it to. Yeah, this is already an hour long. I gotta hurry up. Damn it. Okay, so AMD. I'm actually looking at AMD here, and I'm actually thinking about I'm going to tell you guys what I think AMD does. I think you see AMD pull back. Or I'm sorry, I think you see it bounce and then pull back. Sorry, I was just trying to get to the hourly chart. I think you see a bounce out of AMD. I think you see a bounce into like 184.85, 185, we'll say, in front of 185. Then I think you see a pullback, and then I think you see another attempt like Tuesday or Wednesday back up and through that 187, 190 level. Okay, that's pretty much what I think you see out of AMD. A little bounce, pull it back. Maybe you get short up at 185, 187, up into that area. And then look for the 178 level. Look for pullbacks into Thursday's low. And, you know, play the range. Play the range that it's given you. Alright, let me pull this up to let you guys know exactly what the trade is. I just wanted to give you guys a feel on what I think's going to happen there with it. Okay, and it's important to talk about TSM. Okay, it's really important. So AMD, I'm going to be targeting 190. Just to give you guys a heads up, this gap fill here, I'm still looking for that gap fill. You have massive tails up here, but it's also holding up pretty nicely. Actually, yeah, that is your first close below you know, you're open and closed below this 182.50. I was hoping for a bounce into 190, guys, and I was wanting to take the 190 short back into the 100 day and 175. Like, that was the trade I was looking for. I was looking for a bounce. Okay, let me use this actually. I was looking for a bounce into 190 and then get the pullback and look to get it at like 174, 173. Okay, that's kind of what I was looking for there. So this is all planned out. So 180 holds long target, 180 long. The target's going to be 190. 180 breaks, 170 short is the target. So let me say that one more time. 180 holds. And let me go to a 15-minute chart. We'll go to a 15-minute chart here. All right, so 180. 180 is the level we're watching. This is a major support level here. Really, Wednesday and Thursday you broke it, so I'm going to take that back and say 178. Friday's low was 180, but the range is down there at 178. So I would look for that pullback into 178, 180. Look for the long and see if you can break Friday, Thursday, and Wednesday's highs. And let's see if we can take this thing up to the gap fill and get a possible long trade up there to 190 and then possibly get a short. All right. Selling pressure hasn't stepped up. The trend has not changed. That's why I'm still staying long this. Okay, I don't have a reason to be short. All right, this move here, just like Goldman Sachs, just like Tesla, just like, I know there's another one. And look at that. All right, that 38.2 is lining up with the trade line. 23.6 is right up with that level there at 180. So it's a $10 move. So see if we continue to hold 180. If you see us kind of put in a small little bull flag here, look for a move to 190. Okay, I still like the longs for AMD. Unless you see a day where we have a massive sell volume, then I'm going to change my thesis there. Because I still think you could see like a low volume bounce and try to get up to like 188, 189, and then 190, kind of like wick up there. And then the sellers really step in and try to hammer AMD back down to the low to mid 170s. All right, that's my plan there. So let's see. So if you come in with a gap up tomorrow on AMD, I'll let you guys know my exact trade again one more time with AMD. If we come in with a gap up tomorrow, then I'm going to look for the pull back off the gap up into like Friday's close. You know, call it 184 to 182 long. Try to get that 190 and try to break that 188 level. And I'll take my profits up in front of 188 and into 190. And then we'll look to see, okay, do sellers start to step in? Is that it? Or is this trade going to continue? All right, again, we're not open right now, so I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. ARM. Let's take a look at ARM real quick. This one sold off Thursday. It's really been staying in touch with the Qs, in line with the Qs. Yes, I still have to go over Boeing. I'm sorry. You can see here we rallied, we sold off, and now it looks like we're retesting that 182.30 level to 182. All right. Wait. Look at that. Just that little bit was $2. Wait, that's so weird. Yeah, that's why I was getting mixed up with the numbers. Okay. So I'm looking at this, right? I'm looking at that. And I'm like, hold up here. All right. So I feel like this is like a break, a retest. And we'll see if we can get something like this where we get a 182.50, 182 short back down into 170. That could be a really nice move. I'm not going to play any guessing games, but just looking off of the daily chart there, looks like and you know, this technically still is a test of this previous pivot high here. You kind of just tested that. You know, you broke it, retested it. But, you know, the volume isn't stepping back in on that retest. You're overdone. You know, the overall markets aren't following through anymore. Apple, Microsoft, and Qs and semiconductors themselves. You're going to get some information, though. So that brings me to TSM. I'm going to go over this, but I want you guys to understand that TSM said that they're going to have a lot, that they were filled, you know, we're busy, just everything good that you could hear. What I want to see this earnings season from semiconductors, especially TSM and ASML, because that's our first look this week, do they say something different? Do they say that orders are starting to slide? Or do they say the outlook is grim? Because before, I'm talking just last quarter, the outlook was not grim. Okay, the outlook was not, we're looking at things slowing up. We're not going to say that, you know, we're expecting a slowdown, but we're not going to say it, but we are saying it. Okay, so I want to see if they're starting to, you know, fulfill all those orders that were needed, and if things are going to start slowing down. That's going to be the second leg in this run, is if, you know, they're still just, you know, we still have 2026, 2025 orders that we're trying to fill and get to. We're booked. We're still booked, guys. That's what I want to hear for upside. If they start hinting anything about slowing down, demand isn't really there, just anything of the sorts, then I'm going to look for these semiconductors to pull back. You're already seeing some money being taken out and put into some other names that are at, you know, cheaper valuations, right? They are playing the market the way it should be played. All right, I took advantage of it. I was long regionals, KRE. I gave it out on Twitter. Again, hit the like button, subscribe. We can go look at and airlines. You have so that's ARM. I don't know if I gave you guys that. I kind of jumped the gun there. I'm just watching this. You guys can see here 182.25 to 182.50. That Friday's highs. If we get back above Friday's highs, if we regain that this level here at 182, I'd look for a 182 long. Okay, 182 long back into 186. I don't know if that's worth it. I think there's better opportunity out there. I'm just going to keep it at that. All right, I'm going to keep it at that. This is a nice pullback and retest. You're still holding this levels. This is still bullish, guys. This level here at 172, that was a really nice hold there. So it still has, you know, a bullish setup. Okay, so that's that. If you guys don't know what, for anybody that is new, what I'm talking about is, so what you have here, right? This whole idea is these sellers just saw the stock go higher, and they say if it pulls back, you know, in their mind, they have orders to say, okay, this is where I sold. I'm going to flip that sell order to a buy order because I'm just seeing it go higher. You know, it's still running. If it pulls back and I can buy it for what I sold it for, I'll get back in it. And what's it do? It pulls back, starts rallying. I still think you see, I think we could still start to see a minor pullback. I think you get a test. I'm going to stick my neck out there and say again, I think you do get back up to like 185, 185 to 187 and test Thursday's highs, Thursdays and Mondays highs. And then I think you kind of do something like, well, you are rejecting there. See if you get a bounce off of 180 and look to get short up there at 187 and look for the downside move back down into 175, 170. All right, that's that. I seen something really nice here though that I. So yeah, this level right there, and you regained it. Yeah, 175. I feel like it's going to be a key level. Man, this could be a really nice short, guys. I got to be honest with you. If it sets up and we get a bounce up there, I think I'm going to have to take it. Man, it's a little misleading. I I'm just going to keep it at that, guys. I'm going to keep it at that. I don't want to spend a bunch of time here. I'm already been on here for an hour. Keep an eye on 182. All right. If you regain and you see it get above 182, look for the pullbacks into 182 to be long 186 to 187, 188, the prior highs. But be careful up there at 186 to 188, that $2 range, because you know those sellers could step back in, and I think that's what I want to do, and I think I might try to do it. All right. So if we get back up there, I think I'm going to go for the short. Okay. I would like to see a low volume bounce in a 186, 188. See if I can't take a swing trade on that, pulling it back. Again, you have some semiconductor earnings. Let's go look at Boeing. Sorry for that. I wanted to make this a little bit shorter and not as long. I need to start pre-recording these or something. Okay, so I don't really see a reason to trade Boeing right now unless there's news that I don't know about. Okay, I think there's just so many other setups and news catalysts that bring better opportunity, if that makes sense, right? That's why I'm saying, like, Boeing is sitting here it's just sitting here. It's not doing really anything. So we do have airlines earnings, which brings me to, sorry, I don't know what the hell's why it's doing that. You know, maybe you look for a bounce back to 190, but I think it's done. I think you see Boeing back down at 170. See if you break the 50-day on Boeing, and see if you can, you know, break the 50-day. But you had a really nice tail there. But again, you got above the 100-day, you broke below it, you tested, you found support at the 50-day. Now it's probably looking to reject the 100-day, if that makes sense. It was holding the 100-day. It breaks it. Now it's going to turn that hold into a no hold, right? Support becomes resistance. When broken, it becomes resistance. So let's look for that 100-day to be resistance. And then look for the 50-day that was support. Look for that to break and then become resistance. And then we look for 172. All right, 172, 172.50. That's what I would be looking for, guys, on Boeing. All right, we traded airlines a couple weeks ago, UAL. There's so much opportunity out there. Again, I urge you, if you're listening to it, if you're just finding me, all right, there's a lot of people out here that scam and just want to just upsell, and you know, they want to charge you an arm and a leg, $5, $6, $10,000 to do one-on-ones. Please reach out. I urge you to reach out. I challenge you to challenge me. Challenge me. Book a one-on-one and see if I can't help you and your account. Okay, or at least to help you better understand markets and how to read, and some of the things that I use that you can use and implement to be able to, you know, have success consistently. All right, consistently. All right, UAL. I mentioned here we traded this. You guys can see here this head and shoulders. Okay, left shoulder. If you don't see it, okay, there's your head right there, and then there's your left shoulder right here, and this is your neckline right there. We broke it. You can see we had some nice volume on the break as well, which I'm going to show you right now. All right, so you guys can see this. You had a gap down. You break it. You broke the neckline. This is the neckline here for the ones that are new and don't see it. Right there is your neckline. We actually took that short. Boom. Was it the short? No, it might have been the long. I think we got long UAL actually. I think we got the long back into like that 50 level is what I took. I'm pretty sure I actually went long this. But you can see it breaking down. You put in that head and shoulders right before the earnings. The chart told you what was going to happen with earnings. You come in with that huge gap down, 200-day test. Just pretty nice trade there. All right. You guys can see here, same thing that I just told you was happening with Boeing. It looked like it happened with UAL. It held the 100-day as support. It broke it. It ran right back to it to turn it to resistance, and then came in with the gap down, 200-day support. All right, so that's it. I think we covered a lot so far. So we're going to be watching out for DJT. What does that mean for other small cap names and GameStop? GameStop at 26, DJT. Baba has been a mover as of lately. Okay, that's another name you could look for. I took a long here at the 50-day moving average. All right, this is a trade idea I want you guys to learn. If the overall markets are selling off big, okay, and the stock that you're looking at is green and is not selling off, there's no reason to exit the long. And do not get short that name. I got long Baba down at the 50-day, and I stayed in it for about 3 hours. And I said, you know what? I've made enough money this week. I don't even want to have it. There's no reason for me to even risk any. It's not that even if I would have lost the whole position, I would have still been green and still had a great month. That's how good my week was this week. So Baba we ended up getting that gap up like I thought we were going to. And that actually, I think I got those contracts at 7. I know that they were going for 17 to 23 cents, and I think I got in at like 21. I kind of bought a little high and market ordered in. And then when I woke up, those were 70 cents. I mean, they were the $80 calls, and when we woke up, they were $1 in the money. So you're already getting at least $1 in the money. That intrinsic value there that you have. Intrinsic or extrinsic. I'm pretty sure it's intrinsic. Or is it extrinsic? I get the two mixed up. So that was a nice trade that I kind of wish I would have just said, you know what, just hold it. Because that would even more so topped off my week last week. I hope you guys had a wonderful week. I really, really hope, if you're out here listening to this stream, book a one-on-one with me. Or just get a hold of me. I'm not going to charge you a lot of money. I want you guys to find success. I truly do. Because I want you guys to be able to live the life that you guys deserve. And if you put in the work, you guys can do this. You guys see me do it day in and day out. I don't talk about how much I make. I give you guys the percentages because it's not important. If I told you I made 15,000 or 60,000 last week, what if I made 100 grand last week, 120 grand last week? What if I made 80,000 last week? It doesn't do anything for you. Doesn't do anything if I make 800, 6,000, 20,000 in a day. That doesn't do anything for anybody. Learn to read the markets. Start making money in the markets. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years from now, you can be that trader. You just have to learn how to do it. All right? Have a great night, guys. If you guys have any other questions or anything, throw them in the comment section. I greatly appreciate you guys being here. Hit the like button. I look forward to seeing you guys on the live stream tomorrow. I will come on here and trade live tomorrow. Again, donations, contributions. If you've learned anything, if I've helped you in any way, you can donate and give back to the stream. Again, I'm trying to figure out how I can do this to make it free for individuals and or a small price. So with that said, have a great night. Appreciate you guys. Good luck this week. Stay focused, stay patient. What did you learn? What is a key takeaway from last week? What are you going to use this week? What is something you're going to, an expectation this week that you're going to use and stick to? Like, is it reading the tape? Is it being patient? Or is it like sticking to targets? Is it learning more about the sentiment? Is it trading in earnings? Like, there's all kinds of things, right? I've posted them on here week in and week out. For me, again, my week, I'm going to be patient this week. Patient as in sticking to targets. Okay, things of that nature. Understanding that as much as I want to swing trade, we have earnings. The markets are volatile. It may not be the best time to do that. So, have a great night, guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hit the like button, subscribe, link in the description. Contributions, donations, greatly appreciated. Have a great night, y'all.